Welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to our channel, everyone. I'm Meg.
And I'm Sean.
And together we are Mr. and
Mrs. Gordon. I was a Mrs. Gordon.
Alright. So welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the effective ways to argue, right? And what our views are as it relates to having a disagreement, right? So please stay tuned, watch to the end, right? Stay tuned. Alright, you want that?
First thing, I don't like to argue. I can't argue. I tried to do that, she will laugh at me.
What? No, but what we call argue? Definition. Go and talk.
If me try to argue, she laugh at me and she find it
No,
funny.
man,
So
you're trying.
me can't argue. Me not like argument. I start arguing more and leave the place. But basically, the effective way for me is if when I'm talking, you're listening. When you're talking, I'm listening. And I don't like when when we're arguing, they're trying to tell me what I'm trying to say. Like me tell you say the sky blue. No, you know say the sky no blue, you know say black. That you did say before, tell me what me I try to say. No, man, I like that create more problem. Yeah, man, that's a problem, man. Me I try to tell you what me I say. You I tell me what me I try to tell you. No, and it's like sometimes you realize that the person hold a point. And it's like everything in their mind is all about getting that point out. So you're telling them things and all they're thinking about, then now listen to you. It's like, yeah, but what about this? And if you never do this, then this would have happened. Because they might try to find all avenue of getting their point out. So
but everybody wants to get their point out.
Yes, but is it effective if you're not going to listen to what I'm saying and try come to a conclusion or settle the matter? Because that's something must happen why we end up arguing.
Mm-hmm.
So the argument should be about fixing the problem. Maybe there's some misunderstanding, but you're not listen if you realize you're misunderstanding, you try just get your point out. No,
you're man if you're wrong, you're wrong.
There's so much. I think the main key is listening. If you hear what me I say, then you probably, if you did all certain things in your mind, when you hear what me I say, you might say, alright, I understand now. But if you try just get, because sometimes people buckle up some things from last week where they will want to get out and they might try to use this as a, So the problem now, you try to get out one point where you have in your brain from last week where you will want to say, and use it now. That's not effective. You have to listen. And I don't think you're supposed to buckle up things either.
Yeah. That's
what
I was
happened last week. Maybe you want to wait until we calm down, we talk about it effectively and say, alright, baby, I did something last week where I never like, and you want to talk about it now, maybe I'm not in a frame of mind, but try to find out if the person is ready to talk about it. Maybe you can try that and if they say yes or no, deal with it calmly, because to be honest, some of the best conversation is done when you're calm and you just the environment just right.
Mm-hmm.
You realize you can't talk and babe and
Then I laugh.
yeah, something, but you try to do it in the yes. And the other person come back lower than like it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And no, but and who did do this from when and I think it worked.
Yeah.
That's my view.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally believe though that bottling up things just don't work. If something is happening in your relationship, if your partner did something, the first time they do it, nip it in the bud, right? Make him know, say, listen, you said this the other day and I did not like it, or you said something just now, don't do it again. You know, don't bottle it up, because the thing is, if you don't address it, they're not going to think that, oh, Megan never liked this, so they may do it again. And if you don't say anything, Megan have a problem with it, so I'm going to do it again. So the thing is, say it, make him know it's there, or make your partner know that me never like this, so don't do it again, alright? Don't bottle it up. I don't know why people believe that bottling up things to avoid an argument is a solution to a problem. It is not. When you bottle up things, because alright, in doing 10,000 times when you not know about it affect you, right? And then now I'm gonna do it one next the 10,000 at one time and you bust out like a volcano. It not work. Because at the end of the day, the man are clueless. What the hell are you talking about? Me never know if all of this will affect you, right? And you find that things spiral into something bigger than it would have been if you had addressed it from the earlier times. So don't battle up things, right?
Yeah, and I think one other thing is why it might be a challenge to actually accept it is like you have to think about, so why did okay all of them times
right
and know it's a problem,
right.
You have to think and say probably has something know why it's a problem rather than, well, in truth and in fact them never like it them other time, but because you never say anything from the other time, they kind of play upon your mind now and I say, so why you never say no all of them time?
Yeah, so don't battle up the issues in a relation. Speak about them as they come along, right? Any other tip from you know? Arguing for me is important. Kind of in alignment with not bottling up your feelings or whatever is happening. Arguing important. The thing is, how is it that you argue, right? Are you the type of a person to argue so that everybody hear you? Me and Sean argue already and people hear and nobody knows how we hear argue.
First I think I'm gonna alone argue.
No, but that's not serious argue.
Yeah, but
that's not when we're serious argue.
My thing too is that the tone of voice where you have to come with. Because me one woman was saying me not really not the low talking. Other than as I said before, once I start I'm gonna start laughing because she knows that I know my thing. It sounds funny. Yeah. So me like so baby and but and she loud. She naturally talk louder than me, but I don't know, serious argue, but me like when you talk to me soft and alright. Low tone, basically, low tone. Yeah. I really say soft. You can be low tone but firm in what you're saying. You don't have to be loud. Yeah, I mean, I think the low thing works.
Yeah, so that is it. When we are serious target, we may have we in the room and we talk about something and nobody knows, so we talk about it. If we are arguing about foolishness or it's a joke argument that we do very often, then Sean in there trying to talk Sabi, why you do this? What do you mean why I do this? Yeah, but for real, if we're arguing seriously though, you're not gonna hear none of my boss deal like that. Unless in one case I'm really pissed off Sean and you hear him try start talk loud. And then It's going to get worse because if he start trying to talk loud, I take me a dead laugh. Don't laughing because it's not, as he said, it's not like him, right? But the point is though, how is it that you argue? You cannot be arguing and everybody in your community knows that you're a man in an argument or you're a woman in an argument, right? Argument is you disagreeing and you both talking about it in a manner that is respectful so that you can come to a conclusion and address the problem, find the solution and move past it, right? Arguing don't mean that me and you must shout across the room at each other, right? And that is the problem. So that is why people think, wow, we love arguing so hard, arguing not good, arguing is good. Because when you argue, you talk about the things that are not good in your relationship, are not going as it should be going, or some things that you're just having a genuine issue with, right? So yeah, arguing is good. How you argue now is the issue.
And what I said, it's good to learn what not to do and what to do, and also it clarify misunderstanding.
Right.
So once arguing
is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, I've heard people in long-term relationship, and people who have recently joined together to say that they have never argued or they never argue. But many things we have the genuine understanding of what an argument is. It is basically you sharing your ideas or your views on something, and somebody have another point of view. And if you're not arguing, if you're not having a disagreement, your partner perfect. Nobody not do nothing. Something just not right. Not right. Not right.
And that's why you can't get away from argument, because at two different personalities, we how me do things different from we how she do things. And sometimes we have to compromise and allow her to do things her way while she have to allow me to do things my way. But the argument will let me understand that I must be mindful of always trying to get things done my way, because might be sometimes I'll be just the whole week things just do my way. I mean now remember say I know me alone.
Right.
So the argument will help me to consider her and say, alright, you know what? This is the best solution. Today I might have my own way, tomorrow she will have her own way. Yeah. So
alright. So another tip is take time out. If you realize that the argument is getting out of hand, if you continuously are back and forth and nothing is happening, and you realize because of the back and forth thing you are getting upset and you're beginning to speak loudly, take some time. It means that the atmosphere, the environment is no longer suitable for a good conversation, right? And so you take some time, collect yourself, your emotions again, and you address it another time. And of course, you have to be mindful of your partner. Is your partner in the frame of mind to speak about it when you are ready again to speak about it, right? You don't want to drag out anything for any long period of time, but at the same time, you have to be mindful. While you may be ready, somebody else may not be ready, right? Even the other night we were talking about something, and this is when you're gone up in your feelings, and I said, babe, why you up in your feelings? Me not understand. And then he was like, babe, when you get upset, you know how you remember how long you take to come out of your mood or something. And I said, yeah. And he was like, alright, that happened to me now. And then he get little more vexed. Come and say, why not, babe? So yeah, but then I had to collect myself again and say, babe, what happened? What is it? And then allowed a little time in second and then we spoke about it. So you have to give your partner time, and you need to also take your time with it. If you say something that will happen, because mind you, we may say things sometimes in the heat that it's just not right, and some things we say that we mean when we're upset, some things we say that we don't mean. Because you're upset, you want to hurt the other person, and so you may say things that will just cause more harm to the situation that needs to be created, right? So take time out. Any other tip from you?
If the problem is too big, don't be too big to seek for help. And you have to acknowledge, say, somebody go through the same thing as you did. And I say, because spread on no business already, but for me, I know, say, I have one pastor who is a trained counselor. If I have a problem that is too big, I know I can seek for his guidance and know, say, and trust that he would guide us spiritually. And as I'm talking, I'm remembering, as this is one of the things that I admire my parents about. I remember they had an argument, but at the end of the day, I saw them. I was just a little, I don't remember how old I was, but I was going primary school at the time. But what I see them did at the end of it was they kneeled together and prayed. And me as a young person looking at that could feel like everything was going to be alright after that. So some problem I have to take it to the Lord in prayer. So if I realize nah argue and nah reach nowhere, get a partner together, man, and say, you know what, we have a prayer about this, because this thing is bigger than us and it's getting the better of us. So we have a prayer about it, and trust me, everything will be alright after. If you trust in the Lord.
And to with getting help, please seek professional help. Don't bother go to Jack and Mary, because then we go through a similar situation. So you're going to listen to how they deal with it. Yes, they may get their opinion, but it don't mean that won't for you. So get professional help. And sometimes they have to be very mindful. Sometimes people are just waiting around to hear that something is going on in your relationship. And so even if them go through it, you need to be mindful. Make sure you are specific with who you say whatever you say to. For me, it is better to get professional help. Of course, maybe talk to somebody too, but you must be able to trust them. Professional help for me is just always better, because that person is trained on what to do or how to advise me to move along with this situation, right? Because not because I work for Jack and Mary means they're going to work for you or for me and Sean, right?
And they're not biased. So if they see that you're the problem, they will say, that the problem is with you. They won't be afraid to tell you that, hey, you're the problem.
Right.
So don't seek someone who is going to be on your side.
Right.
But somebody who would tell you the truth and say, hey, you're wrong.
And if you're wrong, you just know say you're wrong. I was going to say something else. Choose the things to argue about. Sometimes we argue about some foolishness, sometimes it just not make no sense. Why is that even something to argue about? We pick up every little thing for nag each other about, and that's one of the problems in that why we feel like arguing is so wrong, because every single thing we get up and argue about every single day. If me drop one pin and ground, you argue about it. If me forget, me can't forget things there, we human. If me forget, if you alright go pick up something from out there, so you have to argue about it because me can't forget things too. Right? So not choose the things that we argue about, because that is one of the most important things. Stop pick up every little thing where in the partner the way you want to do your argue about it. Everybody is different, right? Don't pick up no little trivial foolishness to argue about every day. Can you not stop arguing? And that is what is going to drive the relationship into the gutters. Choose wisely. Yeah? Yeah. Go on. Alright, so do not shout, and we addressed that already. Don't shout. Do not call your partner out of their names. Listen. I have had the first-hand experience with it. People that call their partner. I can't even repeat the name there for the sake of this something. But listen. Do not call your partner out of their name. Don't call them no dog, no filth, them sad the crows. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because guess what? It's going to make you the wife of a crow. Or the husband of a crow. Right? And you do that wrong, you're going to take up the crow. Right? Or you're going to be the husband of a dog filth, or the wife of a dog filth. Right? Either way, you're still filthy. Right? Either way, you're still black and flying on wings. So stop it. Don't call the partner out of their name. They have a name. If you can't call them the usual babe or love or dear, call them by their name. Say Sean, say Dee. Yeah? But don't call them out of their name. And some of the times, so by saying babe, it makes it feel more like just a discussion rather than an argument. So we usually say babe or something like that. So if I'm arguing or we're having a discussion about something that we were disagreeing on, if you say babe, it kind of set the tone. We say, alright, we're not going to shout at each other, and it's going to be, a back and forth conversation that is getting us somewhere, rather than me and say, please don't do it. It's awful, and you're hearing it. If me out the road and hear somebody calling partner out of their name, and it's such a horrible thing to hear. More for me go and call my partner out of their name, the people here. Yeah? So don't call your partner out of their name. The last tip, I'll go through them again. Express how you feel respectfully. We would have addressed that already, kind of too, right? So those are the tips that we want to share with you today. So we would have said, arguing is important. Don't battle your feelings. Listen. Choose what to argue about. Express how you feel in a respectful manner. Do not shout, and do not call the partners out their names. And Sean had added to that you can seek counseling or a third party, a professional third party, to help in your arguments or disagreements. Right? So thank you all for watching. We hope that these tips help. Shoot us here some comments so that we can know too some of the ways that you help to argue effectively, right? Because that too will help us as we disagree, right? And we disagree enough too. Yeah. Alright, so we'll see you in our next video, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.